alive.
Hello.
So I've been watching Bake
everyone?
Off recently.
Really?
I made a
How's that going for you?
it was good. I made 2 banana loaves. I think the week before last. Took them into work. I think
Is
people
it
really
is a
appreciate it.
banana loaf? Is that like a banana, but it's the shape of a loaf of bread?
okay.
It's the size of a
No.
loaf of
Have you
bread.
never had banana
Banana
bread? What the
bread?
shit?
No, I know what it is.
Oh.
I'm just trying to
Um,
conjure the image of a bread-sized banana,
You're just
I
making
don't
it
want
like
to
a-
have to
size
peel.
bread.
and inside is bread, not
Ugh,
banana.
that's worse again.
What? Like you have to peel it?
Yes, it's like a banana, so it's the shape of bread. It has like a banana peel around it, and then you peel it, and bread is inside.
You should be in front of the Hague.
Hello, adventurers, and welcome to PATHCO.
Yes, hello adventurers, and welcome to PATHCO.
Fuck.
With another stellar start.
I think I
We
did okay.
return after a long summer hiatus.
Fucking, when was the last episode?
A while back.
Some time ago.
Some time ago.
Somebody
Once told me.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, you walked right into that one.
no, that
Well,
was
look.
deliberate.
Mom, the world's
Alright, fine. Okay, let's just hit the ground running and keep going.
What happened last time?
I didn't die.
You didn't
Yes,
die.
Sigmund didn't die,
Came
Sigmund
very
failed.
close to it.
but it came very close indeed. So as a short recap, last time
There
you
we go. That's the short recap.
you conducted your marvelous plan to
That was a plan.
confront the chancellor of the university, and actually, why doesn't anyone of you tell me how that went?
We fought a man named Keith. A rat was there. He turned into the end boss of Gravity Falls.
Who's Keith?
I threw a hammer at him. I missed. Sigmund saw his dead boyfriend in space. Yeah, I think that's about it. Montbet nearly died.
So, no, the plan was good. We got the power level a little bit wrong.
Yeah, we
Well,
thought he
because
was
we
just a
didn't-
man and he
yeah,
was
we were
Eldritch.
just a man and
We
he turned
rolled
to be a
the
demon.
Dragon Ball plan when enemy was Dragon Ball Z.
Ah, fuck, dude.
Basically, is what happened.
Yeah.
He wasn't Eldritch. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So our plan, which I maintain was a good plan,
Broad strokes decent.
broad strokes decent, turns out very powerful demon.
Man.
Is Demon Lord correct? Is that?
I think he had a triangle for a head.
He's definitely not a demon
I got a
lord.
picture
Demon
of him.
lords
There he
are
is.
like
No, you'd like
That's
diamond
super.
for a head,
That's
actually.
super.
yeah, stuff like Seth Gavizan. That's
Yeah,
demon
Did he have a
lords.
triangle
Yeah.
for his head?
No, he's a diamond.
No, he had a diamond. Right.
Yeah,
He's
this
at the top of
guy
the
is
handout.
just a demon, but
Yo,
you
why
know,
didn't we
demons
just
on
shoot him in
themselves
the-
are.
Yeah,
exposed
like
brain.
he was not a scrub demon. He was a
Yeah, he was
demon
definitely
demon.
not a
He
scrub.
wasn't like a half demon like that last demon we thought.
Well, I mean, we did
Yeah.
defeat
Well,
him, so he can't have been that
That
great.
wasn't a half. No, the last demon wasn't a half demon. He
It
was
kinda-
half of a
Of
demon.
a demon, yeah.
Oh, right, yes. Those two things are different.
Yeah.
Because the former's kind of a tiefling, if you think about it.
Of a Latin.
Yeah.
Just cause. Yeah.
Have we ever fought tieflings? I don't think so.
No, we don't see the
Tieflings
Aren't
very
some of the
often.
pirates tieflings? Quinn's a tiefling.
Ooh.
Is she the only canon tiefling?
I think so.
There
Maybe.
was the tiefling monk from the Rogue
Oh
Pass.
good
yes,
point.
yes,
Forgot
that's
about
that's true. Okay.
that. In
Enough
Swamp
about
Time.
tieflings. So, you confronted the chancellor of the university.
Yep.
He was a demon.
Hardcore demon.
You fought him.
Mhm.
You
He tried
killed
to
him.
explode.
He
did.
tried to explode himself and everything around him away.
And as we scroll up in roll 20, the last roll is Sigurd on Beck hitting the shield while bellow for a natural
Yep.
crit to
20.
bap him away using his shield bash
Doing a
to
bunch.
give him a
Yep.
free
Bunch
bull
of
rush.
food.
So he was
Mhm.
no longer within the AoE effect of the insta kill,
Indeed.
which was fortuitous.
Mhm.
Very much so. So, as you can see, the city map has changed a bit.
We
there
can't
is
see
now.
the city map.
I
can't see
can,
the
and some
city
of
map.
it's on fire now, it seems.
Yeah.
That seems less than good. Are you sharing it, or is it just
I can
like
see
in
it.
the,
It's
in
the-
the
you're-
Oh, wait,
on-
that's where we are. Oh, there's a demonic room for it. Oh,
This
that's...
is
You know
us.
what? I'm going to choose to interpret that as good.
You can
Yo,
actually
what the
interpret
fuck
that
are we
as good.
looking at?
You might just zoom
Because-
out there.
Yeah, you
What?
might want to zoom out. It's a big map.
I'm still just on the fight map, and shit, am I in DM mode? I'm
You're
in
in DM mode, mate.
Sorry.
Alright.
I was wondering
No
where I
problem.
could see all your notes. Sorry about that.
He
Hi,
can't,
welcome
it's
to
like-
PATHCO.
Okay. So now you're in.
Ron has his notes in paper in front of him. I know that much at least.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
I do have
Oh,
my
shit.
notes.
That was a bad attempt at a grift.
Ooh, that's a real nice sort of wisp of smoke there, Mon. Well done.
Yeah. No, this is basically just a signifier of the fact that you have defeated this demon.
And we can
Um,
go back there later in the story to, grind and get better gear. Because, sometimes
This indicates there might be more ones that we need to put on the map by killing
there
them.
are
Oh,
definitely...
sucks.
Because that was that, that was
shit,
that
my
list.
spell lists are on my other computer. God damn it.
Oh no.
And my notes, including the names of the other bad guys.
Oh no.
for fuck's
I'm actually gonna get my Google Doc notes out.
That's probably a good idea. Because there are 3 other people we have to kill by ramming them with an
Maybe.
action.
Hold on, let's see if I wrote them down. That would have been a
Okay.
sensible thing to do, but
Well,
Yo,
that's
if
what
they
that's
are-
definitely what Olaf
What?
Peachwood thinks.
yes.
Oh shit, good point. But I'm just saying. if
Ah,
they
I've got them.
are
I've got
janky-
them. I've got them. It was Bartholomeus, Jado, Bishop Mendasius, Viceroy Carl Imago Bryn of Blackwater, and Michaels, who is dead.
Michaels, who we
Yes.
kill.
Michaels
so
is dead.
I'm just saying,
Um,
if they are big old demons, if we steal an airship, then we can use the anti-magic field on
I
them.
feel like we're better off like getting close enough to try and figure out whether they are. Normally, I'd say we could do detect evil if we had someone who could do
Or,
that.
let me pitch you on this. We solve the task that we were here to solve, and then we get the fuck out of town.
Nah, cleric.
It is.
I'm not
tempting.
holding truck with that fella.
I mean, I like that idea.
What's
I
the
just
plan first?
Was that?
The demon man.
What about him?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly traumatized right now.
Oh.
I'm
Wait, hang on.
always-
Is this in character or not? Because I'm not
That was
using
it.
a northern accent.
That was in character. Where are we, Mon? What's happening?
Where- DM.
Okay. So basically, this new session starts while you are here, as with you, Sigmund, sort of fading back to consciousness, and you are hearing do 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 do, and as you blink a few times, you notice that you guys are riding in the ambulance carriage that Amos Payne and Therese Pepper brought to you basically late to the party, and you are waking up, and as you ask what is going on, basically you are currently using said ambulance to make your getaway towards the university because the city guard is streaming into the site of the clash, and at this very moment, you guys are ushered into the university where it is mayhem because
As it got out that their boss was the demon.
yes, it is mayhem. Everyone is.
Oh, it's known. Oh shit, that happened.
It is
Oh.
Should have been
chaos.
expected.
That seems bad. Who leaked it?
It might have
Um,
been the girlfriend.
Might
She
have been
ran away,
good.
but she might not have run all the way away.
And
She's in on this for sure. Like
No,
someone
didn't-
else who
didn't-
is in on
didn't
this
Michaels-
clearly.
Didn't Michael say that she wasn't, that she didn't know?
I think he probably said that she wasn't a demon. I don't know about not knowing.
I can't remember. I felt like he said something like that.
Hmm.
yeah. So basically, as Amos Payne and Therese Pepper push you inside the university, you can see that it is total mayhem, and there seems to have a fight seems to have broken out between a lot of the students who are, as you know, unaffected by the strange mind control effects that are
Do we?
about in the form of these weird little
know
ember
that?
things.
Why are they not?
I don't remember knowing that.
You can't just drop that
No,
one.
no, we
Why?
didn't know that. But
Oh,
like, it makes
no,
it-
you did. I stated that multiple
Is
times.
it because what's his name, McGee? Was
Is it
helping? Amos Payne?
Oh no! it's
there's
because of
positive
Dr. Pepper.
energy about, right?
It's Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes,
Indeed.
Dr. Pepper. They've been drinking.
Oh.
They've been drinking. That's right. You're absolutely right, Mon. You're absolutely right. You did say that. They've been drinking delicious, refreshing Dr. Peppers that are enhanced with positive energy, so they are immune to it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely foreshadowed.
What was the worst that could happen?
And
You know what? Heck, that one was all right.
so you have that. You have a lot of the students, and on the other side, it's what seems to be a lot of staff members who currently have, as you're looking at them, have sort of a bizarre glint in their eyes,
Oh dear.
in of a sort of a similar fashion as these embers glow. And as you are brought in, you hear shouting, you hear a body of students yelling at Payne and Pepper, quick, come inside! What should we do? What should we do? They've gone mad! It's some kind of weird effect thing. We were walking around, and then there were these big explosions outside. Do you know anything about that? And suddenly all these people had this glow, and there were these embers, and suddenly they all shit, and you see him like push away one of the staff members, push him like not through a window, but like smash him against the window so he's knocked out. See, this is what I mean. Jeez.
Takes a,
chaos.
I know that
happened?
because the first person got knocked out, so somebody else just jumps in. It's
Yeah,
like, no.
exactly. That's exactly what's happening.
Are they
Um,
asking Amos, or are they just?
They're
in
asking
general?
basically Amos,
just
Therese,
flirting
and
with
you guys.
Mon, I have a quick question, just like for our states coming into this
Just
situation.
emotionally.
Yes.
Well, more physically. Like you said that we were brought here in an ambulance. Was any healing done to us in that ambulance?
Yes. I think that Amos Payne and Therese are both positive energy casters, and they would have healed you on the way here.
Yes. I don't know what the distribution of that
Are we-
healing is, but I
Yeah.
am very badly injured.
Yes,
I'm not great.
They
That was
Dave
are.
is ready to tank.
They're quite
Alright.
good casters, but they haven't had a lot of time since the ride isn't that far. So you can all restore up to half your max if you are below that.
So is that
So,
so is that up to the amount that is half our max?
oh,
Half
Yes.
our max on top of what we've already got.
I think it's up.
No, that is up to half your max.
Sure. Okay.
all right. So just double
Rounding up,
checking,
is that right?
assuming that I'm not totally invalid. 28
So
is
is
half
that-
of 56, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
that's
All
right.
I'm
Yes.
good.
Are we rounding up or down there, Mon?
Up
Oh,
because
I've
they're
got
practice
five,
doctors.
5 light healing
Okay.
potions, so you can have a couple of those each if you want.
Sure. I'm gonna heal up for half my hit points and quaff any like. Honestly, in the ambulance on the way there, Sigmund's been like, "Oh God, I need a drink." I don't think he actually has. Maybe in the Mace of Spades, there's some left.
He
But,
goes for the cleaning alcohol, like
Oh,
the disinfectant alcohol.
That's
Like-
obviously Thyra can't hit him because, well, you know. But she's like both arms trying to brace his arm as they lunge for the hand wash.
Okay. He's had a bad time.
You can have
Mm.
this light healing potion. Here you go. Dave will give it to you.
Okay. Can you roll the dice with Egg on how much that healing does?
It's a D8
Positive
plus
energy
3,
is the
isn't it?
greatest buzz of all.
Yeah. Um,
Hey,
like
it's
Sigmund,
that.
by the way,
more hit
your
points, buddy.
armor, your plate armor is like still partially melted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
From,
going to say like. So how many hit points do I restore there, Egg?
I rolled it to
Looks
10.
like 10.
Oh, I
Almost
was
max.
really sorry. I was really far up, and it looked like I could just roll a d20.
Oh right. Yeah.
No.
It's a powerful healing potion.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's some strong juice.
That's some good shit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, cool.
That was probably the effect of the rubbing alcohol.
Indeed.
Mm.
I was going to mute myself for 5 minutes while that's happening, but you guys feel free to talk. I'm going to still be listening.
Okay. Probably eating a bag of chips or
Or
crisps
or
rather.
horrible pizza.
In
All I've
Oh,
had
yes,
today is
that's
fried
also
breakfast,
possible.
but I also had like a
Pizza.
massive fried
Or both.
breakfast.
I bet.
Oh,
His
okay.
pizza
Oh right.
sounds really
Okay.
good,
He's
to
just
be
using
fair.
the toilet.
Oh, gross. Why do you have
Anyhow.
your headphones on during that? That's
I-
so gross.
Okay. So regardless of
Hi,
any of that,
welcome to PATHCO. We're starting the stream again, gang.
yeah, we're starting over. It's ruined.
Yep.
Back at
so-
level 1, everybody.
No.
So you find yourself in the mud town of Riverton. No.
Yes.
So
Anyway.
there was the child who was like, screaming in Cockney about how he didn't know what to do.
hmm
It was not Charles. He's like older
yes.
than Dave.
So
They have, like,
basically,
A defensive
it's
line or something?
it's currently a bit of mayhem in the university, but the students seem to have the upper hand.
More of them, I assume.
Yeah, there are a lot more of them, and not all students are free of the mind control. It seems, and not all staff are mind controlled. But it
Some of
seems
them
to
don't
be
like Dr. Pepper.
Pepper,
and
yeah.
they
yeah,
don't know.
indeed. Panic at the
I'm
college.
more
Very
of
good.
a Pepsi guy myself.
All right, yeah.
Is that what Chadwick makes? Does he make Pepsi?
Wow.
It's the Cola Wars, but it's on an extremely local
Well, no,
scale.
he's Chadwick, so he's making an equivalent Mountain Dew, sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, the Mountain Dew is a sacred drink of the dwarves. It's all fire a drink. Have you not noticed?
I like the idea that is like actually a thing, and that it's actually like something that is magically dew collected on a magical mountain.
Well, yeah, but it goes through a copper vein, so everything comes out
and
that weird
everything's
color
bloody orange.
and slightly poisonous. But it's fine. It gives it the kick.
Just like actual Mountain Dew.
Just like actual Mountain Dew. It goes
indeed.
through an abandoned copper mine.
I can't prove that it doesn't.
You can't prove that it doesn't.
Anyway, this
anyway.
stream is sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Jeez. This
Not sponsored by anyone.
no, we're not. And we will never be.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are ushered through the tiny civil war that's going on inside of the college.
Quick question: is Sigmund on a gurney at this point, or is he on his feet? Like, is he being
I
wheeled
think-
through?
He's. What do you think? Do you think
you've got
he would
half-
I
want?
think it's very funny for him to be wheeled. It's hilarious.
It's
Yeah,
taking
I
four
think
of us
that
to wheel
Amos-
him on a
Yeah,
gurney.
yeah, indeed. Because he's like a massive man, and he's wearing like his plate armor.
Yeah, and a plague doctor mask for some reason, probably.
Yeah, that also.
Granville's
And-
grumbling, why are we pushing him?
Yeah, it's two dwarves, a halfling, and like an old man.
Yeah. And Amos is like, "Good lord, it's chaos down here. Oh, Sigmund, watch out! Here come the steps."
Oh, no, Sigmund gets off at that point then.
Oh wow!
Really?
Fucking
Puts it back down on the upper thing and
And then gets back on.
God.
Wow, impressive.
There's like a noise
The
of relief
fighting
as he gets
is
off,
going
and then
on.
a groan
You
as he gets back on.
can see like 5 students rolling a professor down a staircase.
yeah, that's right, fight the man.
Fight that man in particular.
You can see like a seemingly glowy eyes mind controlled staff member screaming bloody murder as she's being bitten in the head by the fish professor.
Yes. Callbacks.
Indeed. And going through all of this, dodging like thrown bottles and Erlenmeyers and like lab equipment that is just flying through the air.
Someone staggers past, like spinning a Bunsen burner over their heads.
Yeah,
still lit
indeed.
like it's a mace.
Like there's some Mad Max shit going on with like the lab Bunsen burners.
Yep.
Well, these guys are really, really almost at the cusp to go at any time. It
Yeah.
seems.
Someone
Yeah.
goes by with like a katana, and it's just like,
yeah,
Okay.
like an
hang on.
actual
where did you
blade.
get this from?
Wow.
Someone
Like
mail-ordered from the
Glanvar
Eastern
glances to the
continent.
side, catches a scalpel that's flying through the air before it hits him.
I think we might need to get out of here quickly.
Like,
Yeah,
we need
I'm
to
pretty
get,
sure
like,
there's a dragon in that room. I don't think. Why would people have this in a university?
Dragon? Well, or Patrick.
academics, man.
Yeah,
Well, we need to get up to the
academia
office.
is a hellscape.
We need to get up to the office for multiple reasons, but we need to get up to this guy's office. We need to check out what the hell is happening, because if he must have been some kind of like load-bearing. He was obviously keyed into the
Oh, the stupid
the-
gooey air things.
Yeah, well, he was clearly keyed in because he's gone down. There wasn't really enough time, unless someone was observing him, there wasn't really enough time for someone else to pull the trigger. So he must have been load-bearing to some extent. So we need to have another look at, like, and this is something Sigmund's saying publicly, we need to get up to his office and we need to double check to see what's going on. And he pulls Sarah aside. We're totally going to rob this man. I'm having that fucker's armor. He owes
Oh
me.
yeah, I mean, yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys basically, Pain and Pepper usher you up to the office, which is like basically has been barricaded by the students as a headquarters. And say, "Oh, quick, Dr. Payne, Dr. Pepper, quick, come in. What should we do?" And they are let in. Oh, by the way, there's this strange fellow. He arrived earlier from the sewers, believe it or not, and
Oh,
it seems he
goddamn.
wishes to speak to a certain PATHCO.
I hate everything about this
That's
adventure.
us.
I love this adventure.
What happened
Well,
to
apart from
Monbeck in the chaos? Is he with Tim?
Oh, he died. No.
Oh, he's
No,
not dead.
Monbeck and Tim are
Oh,
with
well,
you
that's
guys. Yeah, Monbeck and Tim are with you guys. And as you enter into the office, which is as you left it, you can see that there are two people arguing inside, which are Katie Crumble and Chatwick Crumble.
Who the fuck is
Ah.
Katie Crumble?
The
What?
The girlfriend.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Chadwick's
the
sister.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
indeed.
We do have a
And
picture
they
of
are
her
loudly
running in.
arguing,
There she
and
is. She's
Chatwick is saying, "What were you thinking? You see, I've told you again and again that there is something wrong with this man, that there is something wrong with Sataito. But no, you didn't believe me because I always mess up everything for you, don't I?" And she replies, "Yes, you do. This is all I had. I was finally happy, and now you've gone and turned everything to shit again. Why do you always do this?"
No, to be fair to our friend Chatwick, it was us that turned this one to shit.
I mean, he
I
was
don't
demon,
know.
so he was shit to begin with.
In
Yeah,
the grand
not-
scheme of things, actually, we're probably on the side of good. But as far as you're concerned, yeah. Oh, also, yeah, we killed your boyfriend. Sucks to be you.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he was a demon.
Yeah, he was also totally a demon, and I hate him.
Yeah.
Also, now I'm going to rob him.
Did you know he
She
had a
just
diamond
puts
head?
like her hands in her hair and screams just "Ah!" and she walks into there's not even another door to another room here.
That's the
She just
lift.
goes into the elevator,
Yeah.
closes the doors. The
Straight
elevator
up.
doesn't run down. The elevator doesn't run down. She just goes and sit in the elevator.
Okay,
That's
bye
weird.
then. Thyro
And
wave.
Chatwick just sort of I am sorry you had to see that. Jeez.
I mean, she's
So
been
are
through
Me
a lot.
too.
Yeah, she needs to not go down in that elevator, by the way.
Yeah, I
oh,
know. I
yeah.
disabled the thing.
I would not recommend that.
What's happened to the other sorcerers, by the way? Are they still like in the med bay or what? This is
Yeah,
this is
they're
out
in the
character.
med bay currently.
Okay.
At least last I heard. That's where
Is it well defended?
I think. I mean, Payne's Amos Payne, right? That's me.
Did you forget that you were both characters there?
Yes, I did. So basically, it seems that the med bay is currently also a bastion of the resistance, since Amos Payne seems to have let a lot of his staff in beforehand about this
That makes sense.
situation. And Chadwick says to you, when I heard these explosions, I decided, well, probably for the better to come join the resistance, eh? That old church wasn't too safe anyway, and now that there's actually this, well, whatever situation going on, figured it might be safer for me to stay here. Not to mention, well, and he points towards the elevator. And basically, so Chadwick is here now with you guys as well. Beck is here. Tim is here. Amos Payne and Dr. Pepper are here.
Has Chatwick been briefed on what we found down there?
No, I haven't. I would actually like an explanation.
Who?
He
Who
was
wants an
he was
explanation?
he was blood milking sorcerers.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
makes the cartridges for those gun ones that the guard use. They come out of sorcerers.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
real. It was real grim down there.
A wizard did it.
That
Yeah.
Well, no, he was a demon. He might have been a wizard. Also,
Wow, yeah. I mean, that's just
Someone with
horrible.
spell-like abilities did it.
someone with spell-like abilities milked a whole bunch of sorcerers of their blood and made guns.
I see. So that's what the bloody stuff is made of.
Ah.
Quite literally, the bloody stuff. Yes,
I did. See, you appreciate my pun there.
that was good. Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'm sorry.
Now, if you'll excuse
I
me,
make jokes when I'm stressed out.
Me too. Thyra crosses the room, and there was an armor case in here, right?
Yes.
She's going to smash it with her hammer.
All right.
Just
Broken
immediately
glass on the
from-
floor is exactly what we need.
She's
So you
smashing
smash-
inwards. It's
Yeah. So
fine.
you smash the case, and there is a big like armor suit in there that is made, as earlier stated, of pure mithril.
Yeah, sorry,
Mithril.
Chatwick. We're just going to need to take a little bit of an aside here because your fucking brother-in-law trashed my fucking outfit. I don't know if you can see this.
I don't think they were married.
Okay, I was trying to.
Hang on. Chatwick, were they married?
I have no idea.
Katie? What's her name? I don't know your sister's name.
Yeah, it's Katie.
Katie. Katie, were you married?
I don't want to talk to any of you.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a no.
Well, that's good because at least we haven't widowed anyone
Yeah,
explicitly
that'd suck.
today.
If you do want to marry someone, I can get you a discount. I know a guy.
Thyric, you're a cleric. You can do it yourself.
I mean, yeah, but I wasn't going to do it for free. What?
Oh, that's fair. Oh, you were doing the old.
I was, it's important to network. Thyra is saying while, kicking in the remnants of the glass of
Oh,
this
that's right.
armor
I
case.
hear clerics are very expensive this time.
Thank you. You're a good friend. Come take this fucking armor. You look
Yeah.
horrible.
Christ, I feel horrible. Oh
As
my
a-
god.
as a dwarf,
Thyra, can I
this looks
can I
hideous.
talk to you for a second? This fucking sucks. This sucks. I'm not doing well, Thyra. I am doing real bad.
Oh,
I am doing very badly.
right. Would armor help, or is this an aside to that?
Well, honestly, the armor will help because I think I have my, role as a protector tied in a little bit unhealthily with my actual personality right now. So I guess it sort of does help in that respect, but also
it doesn't sound it.
No, like Farah, I saw things, and I was very close to death.
Yeah, I saw there was a void and everything.
There was a void and everything, and it was, for a second there, it was very attractive.
Oh. Yep, that definitely seemed. Hang on, I'll get my pamphlet on counseling.
Okay, but right now I'm also super pissed off with a lot of people. So my main thing right now is that, I'm going to survive this because I have a lot of that I need to outlive.
I mean, okay. So this isn't the long-term healthy thing, but put on the armor and let's go channel the rage into someone who deserves it. And
Fuck yeah.
Alright, sweet. Thyra reaches up on tiptoe
taking his clothes
to
off.
brofist him.
Brofist heckers.
Nice. Thyra then looks politely away as he changes a suit of armor in the middle of the room.
Well, no, there are undershirts involved. Like,
thank you.
Yeah.
Like, the suit of armor is not the thing. It would, like, if it was the only thing that he wore, it would get extremely uncomfortable in cold climates.
It would chafe somewhat.
It would
pinch a lot.
This is a horrible conversation.
It is. It really is. So basically, as you
This is a very horrible conversation. It's even more horrible than the previous conversation. We potentially killed someone's husband.
Yes.
I don't even know how that worked out. I mean,
well, it turned out it was fine because it wasn't. They weren't married.
Glanva mutters to himself, "I think I've killed more than a few husbands in my time."
See, there you go. Glanvar's cool with
Some
it.
of those troglodytes were probably married.
That's a good point. We did see that they had an organized religion, so
this is true.
I don't know if troglodytes get married.
Dave,
looks very contemplative.
Dave, that's a little bit too much for me right now, buddy.
Sorry.
That's a good point.
Do you want stroke toast? She's very soft and feathery. He holds out toast.
You know what? Yes.
You can stroke toast. Roll handle animal.
Roll handle animal.
All right.
This is literally what handle animal is for.
Yeah.
He's handling an animal.
Handling an animal. Okay, right. Yeah, let me just bring up that.
She's like smart and telepathic though, so I assume the DC isn't super high. That's pretty good.
Oh.
He stroked the bird.
You really like animals.
He does, actually.
Or animals really like you. I don't know. It's definitely... I like the idea of a high charisma character who animals really like, but he doesn't particularly care for them. Not that I could ever play him because I love dogs way too much. Yeah.
That is a thing that happens.
So basically, a very dispassionate Disney princess.
See, that seems like the ideal build for a witch. Now that I think about it. What are we doing?
That part of Shrek 2 where Imogen Song comes on.
Oh, that's a good part.
That is a good part.
Wow. A lot of Shrek references in this episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually. Anyhow. Anyhow. So as you are taking the armor out of its case, you put your hands on it, Sigmund, and you can see that on the plating of it, you can see sort of the texture is shifting, like, and it sort of makes almost like as you touch it, not so much a ripple under your hand, but it makes sort of a metallic weird contraction, and it feels very weird.
It's magic.
And Chatwick says, "Yeah, well, figures it's magic. It's pure mithril. I mean, look at it. Do you know how many full suits of plate armor of mithril have actually been made?
206.
There were those vampire guys that wore them on Pegasuses.
206.
206.
They were hippogriffs, not Pegasus.
Is it 206?
it.
Trust
that
me, I'm a
is-
dwarf. It's
Yeah,
206.
I'm
Glenvar, back
actually
me
quite
up.
impressed with that. Thank you for that. Wow,
And at least-
your
You're
your
welcome.
knowledge
At
is
least-
impeccable.
It's kind of a
One
race
piece of
memory
chainmail.
thing.
Yeah.
Dave, do you know anything about diagnosing magic items?
Maybe.
Potentially through
It's-
some kind of, were this to be a game,
It's probably a class
role of a spell crafting nature
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can
that's,
definitely roll a spellcraft.
that you
Oh,
could
it's
do
spellcraft.
last week.
That's 12.
12. Well, you know that mithril
Based
as a
on
material.
the fact
Fuck.
that I am wearing a slightly magic
Bugger.
metal shirt at this very second.
Compare and contrast. Hold them up to each other.
Yeah, so basically, you are aware that mithril as a material has innate magical properties. As an ore, it has a lot of arcane potential, if you will. And basically, the more of it that you put together, the higher of an aura it generates. Which is why smaller items like, for instance, just a breastplate are merely just a very, very durable, very powerful piece of armor, but something as big as a full plate suit actually develops a lot more complicated qualities.
Yeah, it's real
And-
magic, bro.
It's definitely magic.
Right, real
Indeed,
magic.
it's definitely magic. And Chatwick sort of chimes in with his knowledge about this, and basically you are aware that a full suit of mithril armor has certain demands that it tends to make of its wearer. That being specifically that it requires a sort of a syncing, if you will, or an attunement to it. And what it tends to desire most from its host is a focus or a clarity of mind, which allows it to bind to its host and to give over full control of the mithril armor. And Chatwick's ask you, so, well, Sigmund, would you say you're at the moment particularly, and he sort of looks at his notes about mithril and stuff, clear of mind, focused, stalwart is a description I'm reading here. What are your on like a scale of?
Well, I'm not, because I'm thinking back actually, and he was stopped. Sigmund didn't have a drink in the ambulance. He was stopped. He was he's been sober for a little bit of time, actually. He's not drunk. He's
Did
not
he
drunk.
not drink in the fight against Michael?
No, Michael.
No. What's his name? Michael?
Yeah, Maximilian Michael.
Maximilian.
Close.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I
Nice.
didn't realize there was that kind of crossover in the names.
Yeah.
So he's sober, which is good, I guess.
For now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Chatwick says, you might want to be a little just sober. And would you say that... Wait, I'm just going to continue reading this here. Would you say that your mind is free of any negative clouding influence? Any negative clouding influence? I'm reading... What's this? I am reading nightmares, mind control. Well, that's not the case, hopefully.
That's a really specific pamphlet.
No, I mean, I'm fine apart from those ghosts that are haunting me
I
and
feel
my
like
dreams.
that's a pretty big one, yeah.
What now?
Don't worry about that. We're working on it.
Wait, what?
Right. Well... And Chatwick looks at his notes and says, okay, so what we could try here, I think, is to put the armor on anyway, and see what happens.
Fuck yeah! To be honest, that was my plan in the first place.
Right. So I mean, it says some stuff here about like, blah blah blah. If the armor senses a negative influence, new error, blah blah. Try to purge the mind of said influence, blah blah, and so
Wait.
forth.
Does the armor do that, or should
It does.
should he? Oh,
Well, I think it does.
That sounds pretty good.
Like
that
no,
seems
like
positive.
no, like look, we're in the middle of a crisis. I'm not very good at many things, but the one thing I am good at is absorbing blows. And right now my armor is so. I kind of think this is a risk that I need to take.
Okay. Here's my proposal. In the meantime,
Well, that
by the
seems a
way, the
little
other.
sudden. You barely know each other. I mean, that said,
Very-
I do know a cleric. You know, I can get you a great
Very,
discount.
very funny. Very
I think
good.
so too.
Very good.
You're welcome.
The other two doctors, by the way, have left for a while to, well, commandeer the rebellion, basically.
Yeah.
We need to be helping with this rebellion. Like we need to.
I think we're probably good. I think they've got it. There's 3 other demons in the city. We should...
Maybe. Probably.
Run away from them?
No.
Okay, so Chadwick says, okay, here's my idea. And he takes out, from a backpack that he had with him, the big book that you can see on his art.
All right. Oh, by the way, Chadwick, do you want any of these books that Peachwood said we should get?
What are those? What's
I
that?
give-
What's that looking like?
Oh yeah, we did that quest. We did
Yes,
the quest.
I give him all the
We
books.
did the book quest.
We give him all the
robbed
books.
a bank and
Alright, give me
everything.
that.
Glanvar was no help.
Okay, so let's...
He just
These are
looks
ones
up and
that he
gives a
was
thumbs up.
interested in.
We have fun.
Yeah. So he looks at the books that you've given him, and he says, all right, what's this? Energy polarity. Well, that makes sense, given the positive energy thing that we've luckily figured out ourselves. Positive energy compounds. Treats you on Blackwater's founding.
Oh, by the way, this is maybe a bit worrying. When we killed the demon, he
Yes.
said, "Praise be to Saint Sartoria," as he died. And that doesn't seem like the kind of thing demons normally do, unless it's another demon. I feel like we should be worried
Oh,
about
you're
this.
right.
You're right. We may have to fight a
Shit.
church again.
Oh, okay. Not again.
Yep, speak for yourself.
Okay, so... and then he picks up the last book that you give him, and he says, oh, all right, well, that's a giveaway, all right. See this? And he shows you Primary Principles of Red Plane Alchemy.
Yes.
The red plane. And he sort of chuckles. You know what that is a euphemism for? The
Is it?
abyss.
Oh, okay.
The
thank
red
God, I
plane
thought it was
is
weird
the
stuff.
abyss.
I never thought of the abyss as being red. I thought it was being blue.
I thought kind of a purpley color, if we're asking.
Oh no, well, unfortunately speaking from experience, it is very, very much red.
Have you been there?
Once or twice, long while ago. Anyway, that's not important right now. What?
So
The-
we
the
have
one
to
that's
fight
sort of-
the astral plane.
The one that's sort of weirding me out here is this one, and he shows you one of the books that you had to get, Treatise on Blackwater's Founding and the Old City.
That's what I was thinking as well. Do you think? Do we think that this means that Peachwood suspected that Blackwater was founded by demons and that it's always been run by demons?
Maybe.
Like these guys and the three
Honestly-
guys, the 3 guys that we found the list of in the vault. Those guys.
Right, show me. And he reads through it.
I
Oh.
first.
Oh, well, I suppose if it was built by demons, it makes sense that these people are they. Well, this is Bartholomew's Jado. That's the captain of the city military. And he goes through it. Well, Bishop Mendacius speaks for himself. The
That's the
hosting
church
bishop
we're
in the
going to.
cathedral over there, and he points outside the window, and you can see the big cathedral in the distance. I will ping it on the map.
Oh, my map's covered
Number
in pictures
24.
of people.
It's number 24 on the map. As for, well, the Viceroy... Well, I mean, that's the man who runs the bloody city, isn't it? Oh, great. This is great. This is just fantastic.
I mean, we killed one demon on our own.
Yes, and I'm honestly incredibly surprised. Who are you people?
We had bad practice. We killed half a demon before.
Yeah, it's true.
How do you kill half a demon?
It was
Quite quickly. I think we got a tree to fight most of it.
I made friends with a tree ant, and he helps.
That was good.
That sounds like a very interesting story I want to hear about later.
Do you know the tree ants?
That's the weird thing. If this stuff is about Blackwater's founding, and it's also about the old city, which is, well, most of it is currently the Plague District. I think a lot of it...
What kind of purpose do you think that these demons would have in making up this plague?
Honestly, I don't know. And I'm very curious to find out. Well, maybe it's the logic of having a supply of sorcerers to make this whatever it is from. What do you say? The cartridges for the spell ones?
Yeah,
is that it?
I mean, I've got one.
Right.
I don't know what it fires though, and I don't know if I want to find out now.
Well, thing is,
I would argue the sorcerer doesn't need his blood back anymore.
Oh, I know.
I suppose. Well, as far as I can tell, sorcery and, well, basically signs of sorcery have always been heralded as the first signs of the plague. And that's obviously bollocks, but it's certainly what everyone up till now has been trying to get everyone to believe. Honestly, what I make of it is that there might not even be a plague. This might honestly just be a thing where they're corralling sorcerers into some kind of district where nobody can look at them and nobody knows what's going on there, so they can safely pick them off and leech them out of whatever they are using their blood for.
It's not all sorcerers though, is it?
I don't know.
You live
Hashtag
there.
not all sorcerers.
That's true. But, well... Yeah, I have been there, haven't I? Honestly.
Like, who are you selling your potions to? We thought you give it to a kid. I mean, I feel like...
Honestly, anyone with coin...
Honestly, I was pretty high for a lot of that whole period. Don't remember a lot of it.
I could believe that.
He was a student.
Yeah, that's... I mean, well... Look... Mugwort is a completely safe experience if it is taken in moderation, and I will not discuss this further.
Okay, so...
Yes, there's Sigmund taking out his last remaining mugwort joy to placing it to his lips.
Oh, god
Nice.
damn it. We just kept him away from the hand sanitizer. Okay.
He does not spark it yet.
Okay. Anyway,
mithril armor
I'll
and
try
civilization
and figure
stuff
this old city stuff
Oh,
out.
shit, yeah, no, I should probably not be stoned for putting this
Okay.
on.
So,
Does it
Let's-
spark joy?
Let's first of all try.
Sparks joint.
a real specific reference. Ugh.
Huh.
So,
All right.
What are we doing? Are we fighting the other three big old demon lords?
I'm putting this armor on. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's
they're lords of
that's
demons.
certainly the plan. But first of all, considering this armor, here's my plan. I can try to astral project you guys together with Sigmund into his own mind.
That sounds fun.
Bad
I want to do
start.
that.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
that way, because I have this feeling that if we just let the armor run its course, that's not going to go very well. So
No.
here's my idea. I'm going to astral project you guys in, and you accompany the armor on whatever or whatever is going to happen. You guys can be there for it, see that it goes well.
Oh, so this
Deal
is an
with-
escort quest? Oh.
Deal with whatever weird. What was that you said? Like ghosts in your dreams?
Yeah,
Are you
fuck
possessed,
ghosts.
man?
I don't know.
How long have you had ghosts
Jeez.
in your dreams? You didn't tell me.
Oh, yeah, it's embarrassing, Zabe. I didn't want you to look down on me.
I mean,
he'd need a step ladder to do that, so...
pretty big one.
Chadwick says, "Zing."
I like you, Chadwick. Despite the fact that you fucking evaporated like 3 clerics. You
They're
psychopath.
already dead.
Well, look, I mean, they're dead anyway. Can you blame me?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair, and I respect your opinion to disrespect me. Actually, I
Good.
don't. Fuck you.
Alright, are we starting this? Thyra
Yes.
holds the hammer
Yes.
to his throat.
Right. Good.
Do the
Wait,
brain thing,
Need a
Chadwick.
snack.
I'll do my best. But honestly, I could use the help of Pain and Pepper, actually. They might be able to help me with this. Where are they, actually? And the door is pushed open, and as he says this, Pain and Pepper enter. But they are dressed quite differently from when they were before. And
They're
Amos
masked.
Payne says, "Behold, finally I get to use these things." As you know, I've been planning this insurrection for quite a while. In fact, I have prepared special outfits for us to wear as leaders of the resistance.
Do you have art for this, and is this horrifying?
I do have art for this, and you can see that they are dressed in like sort of black cloaks, and they both have a sort of modified plague doctor's mask,
Cool.
which helps them to be guarded against the weird gas, and frankly, I thought it looked cool. And I mean, Pepper agrees, right? Don't you, Therese? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's great. And here's the art.
Oh, I see. You look like cultists.
I'm not super
Well,
into
I
the
mean-
masks.
They do kind
Look.
of look like you, though. Was that
No,
intentional?
also, can I just say that her mask is the most adorable thing there, and I love it.
It kind of looks like Pearl.
It does.
Oh, really? It sort of does.
Aw.
It's
Oh.
Pearl and Old Man Pearl.
Yeah. Well, and you can see that like Amos Payne is like visibly embarrassed about the fact that he made like this cool stuff.
No,
for
take
himself.
pleasure in your achievements. It looks great. Ignore me.
Yes, it does. And so yeah, there's the art. You can see like the positive energy needles and bubbles.
Oh.
So that's them. Okay, and Chadwick explains the situation to them, and they agree to help you. All right. Very well. And you have a scene where the armor is arranged in like a way where all the belts are opened and the back is open so that Sigmund can basically like lie down in it. And
Yeah, he just face plants in it. It's fine.
yeah, he can just like it's open in a way that he can like face plant into it. And it's wired to all this weird stuff that Chadwick has taken. Yeah, it sort of makes him Stephen, maybe. Though there's not 3
No.
there's not 3 yet. But maybe in the future. Maybe a Stephen will come along.
Oh, maybe that makes him one of the other. If they both look like pearls, maybe that makes him one of the other pearls.
That's true. Okay, so everyone is ready. You can see Amos Payne, Therese Pepper, channeling positive energy onto the armor. Chadwick is doing all sorts of weird stuff. Everything is wired to strange arcane machines that he has taken out of his backpack. he has his big book open, which, as you can see, whenever he turns a page, the hand that is connected to it writes the page. As you have encountered that sort of book before in B Team.
B-Team.
Indeed.
B
Have
has
I?
it.
Was I there?
Yeah.
And you were there.
Yeah, you were. It was the occultist fancy house.
Yeah, the big
party.
heist
We
thing.
found it,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
B
yeah.
stole it.
That was
Indeed.
fun.
And say, okay. Well, we're ready. Now, if you'd all please hold one of these, and he hands all of you like sort of like an electrode almost. That will channel the astral projection and stabilize it. Now to hook them up to the armor and to Sigmund. Sigmund, could you come over here, please?
I sure can.
Stick your fingers out, if you will.
I stick my 2 middle fingers out.
And he like puts clamps on each of your middle fingers. All right, that'll do the trick. Very well. We're ready. Let's go. Sigmund, you can do the honors. And he points towards the open armor.
I face plant into this armor with electrodes attached to my middle fingers, I guess.
Yep. So basically, Sigmund plops down into the armor, and you can see the armor suddenly, like, almost warp, stretch, move of itself, close around him, and all of your vision turns black.
Hey, Chadwick, is this totally safe?
And very, very slightly, you sort of come to, and you start seeing the stuff. And Sigmund, this feeling is sort of familiar to you, and reminds you of the time that Blind Abdul pushed you into the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
And basically, you guys blink, and you are currently standing in what looks like a low, sort of a very shallow river, which goes straight forwards. To the sides, it is obscured by mist, and you can see in the river very, very bright white glowing footprints. And you can see that the water, wherever these footprints go, has sort of been miraculously cleansed, and everywhere they go, the mist is dissipating. And it seems to be that this is the way that the armor, or its avatar in this mindscape, has gone. You're all currently in the mindscape. The ethereal plane. The plane of dreams.
Do we have the equivalents of our equipment, basically?
You do.
Okay.
However, there is one alteration.
Sure.
And that is to what your AC is.
Okay.
Or to all of us, or just to Sigmund?
To all of you.
All of us, okay.
Because this works slightly differently in the ethereal plane than it does in the material world.
Mm-hmm.
In the material plane, either your wisdom or your charisma modifier is added to the base 10 of your AC.
Oh, okay.
To represent an aspect of willpower.
Okay.
Oh, does our normal armor have an effect here as well?
Your normal armor does not have an effect here.
What about like my
Your
size or
Your
my
willpower is
dodge?
your armor bonus in the ethereal plane,
So
which is represented by either your wisdom or your charisma.
So
is that in place of Dex or?
No, it is in place of armor bonus.
Okay, so my
So
my
how-
AC doesn't change then.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was going to say
because,
armor bonus or armor
Glenn
class.
already gets that, right? So
I'm sorry?
Glenbot already gets that,
Yeah, he does.
but he doesn't get it twice.
No, he doesn't.
So our AC.
It's just no harder to hit than usual.
So our
Yeah.
AC is 10 plus Wisdom mod, or 10 plus Armor plus Wisdom mod.
Your AC is 10 plus your Dex mod plus either your Wisdom or your Charisma mod.
Sure.
Oh,
What about
Because-
my size bonus and like the natural armor? My
Size
dodge?
bonus is like Dex related. Everything that you get for your touch AC, you still get.
Oh, okay. So it's basically touch AC plus.
It's touch AC
Charisma
plus
always.
either Wisdom or Charisma.
Okay, that
What
seems
about
fine.
the Shield of Arbello? Does that help me here at all?
Is it a magical shield?
Yes. I
Sounds
think,
convincing.
I think it is. Sorry, let me just double check that.
Okay.
Because
Because magical stuff has a magical aura that you can still sort of retain, and it gives you the enhancement bonus to your AC as well.
Oh, I think my Mithril's +2.
Right? Is that the enchantment bonus on it?
I think so, yeah.
Then that is also added.
Okay, it's 23 in that case, which is, in other words, only one less than my regular AC.
Incredible.
That's because I've got a very high charisma in it.
Yeah, like Dave is a powerful boy. So basically you guys turn to Dave, and Dave is like this glowing beacon of just absolute certain Daveness.
soft boy energy.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
soft boy energy.
and the Shield of Arbello is indeed a magic.
Alright.
Because it gives me AC. Normally it would be AC 1 for a light wooden shield.
Mhm.
I have some specialization that helps with that, and
Okay.
so it must be a +1 on top of that as well. So yeah.
Okay. So if it is a +1, then you also get +1 from the magical aura.
Yes.
Mine is
I
14.
only get the one for the magical aura. I don't get the +1. So it is
Yes,
only
yes.
the magical aura that affects.
Only the magical aura, not
okay.
the physical armor bonus.
Mine continues to be 14.
And I've taken off my previous magic. Doesn't count.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that is good.
Okay. As soon as you all have that checked, you can tell me, and then we will proceed with this.
So, mine's 23.
14.
Oh, it's
14.
So, what was the roll we were making here?
There's no roll. I'm just
This-
wondering
this
whether
roll
you
of the-
guys all have figured this
Yes.
out.
Do you want our
Have
final
have your
wants to
new
know what our
have your
fantasy
ethereal
AC
AC.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, 17.
All right.
Still 24.
Still
God.
24.
Nice.
Why am I so much worse than at this? Criminy.
Because you rely on armor.
Yeah.
That is a
Mood.
fact. Okay. So you are free to follow the steps of the strange, like the trail of the armor, if you will. And as you are passing through Sigmund, you suddenly hear a familiar voice. And you hear the voice of the Duke of Broken Cups.
Do we have art
Oh,
of these
dear.
guys? We don't.
And you can see them as you go further. There's a bit of rock where both the Duke and the Duchess are laying upon right now. And you can see that they are both near cut in half
Ooh.
with like a glowing white fire. And the Duke says, Oh, Sigmund, it's you. Oh, something terrible is happening. Oh, this strange figure clad in white suddenly appeared in our peaceful place here together and cleft us both in twain.
Well, you're doing better than most of the people I've seen get hit with that.
Oh, Sigmund, it's so excruciating.
What's the kind of like layout of land around here?
It's just a straight river, and there is just like one rocky outcropping upon which these two are just strewn about.
Duke,
Yes,
can I ask you, are we friends?
of course we're friends, Sigmund. Oh, we're the best of friends. And he raises his empty cup, which has like a perpetual stream of ale that is just leaking out of it. Of course we're friends, Sigmund.
Can you
I tell you, even if everyone lets you, abandons you, if you got nobody else, then Sigmund we'll all be there for you. And he shakes like his cup of his leaking cup.
Sigmund takes a glance over to Thyra. What's Thyra? Less.
Thyra, you can see these two beings, the Duke and the Duchess, who are these strange figures clad in almost garish medieval royal robes and
Fantasy
both,
loungewear.
Yeah, fantasy loungewear, and both stink incredibly of alcohol. And they are both also very clearly incredibly drunk. And you can also tell, upon closer inspection, that they seem to be made of wood.
Oh.
It's as you look at them, it seems as though they are not so much beings of flesh, but rather they are like wooden sculptures almost that just move around.
So more like a marionette.
Yes.
That's creepy.
Roll me a sense motive and a perception, Thyra, and anyone really looking at these two strange figures who are
nice.
decimated by.
Because they're not strange to him. I think this is something someone else.
Yeah, this
Thyra,
is.
Thyra goes full Batman Arkham City and enters like detective mode.
Yes.
Everyone sees these fuckers for what they are.
Yeah.
Everyone enters detective mode. Which
Everyone
is also
enters
the
detective mode. Dave, to you, these both seem actually very amiable and nice people. Very rowdy, but very merry. Very merry. Thyra and Glanvar, you can tell that these weird drunkards are out of their minds. And
yes, they're in Sigmund.
Yes.
Wagga wagga.
Haha, zing.
Thanks, Chadwick.
Yeah, like he briefly appears as like a flickering projectile, like zing.
He's a force ghost.
Yeah, as like a brief force ghost. And
So what did Thyra? What did Sigmund say to Thyra just before this?
Yeah, what did Sigmund say? Sigmund?
Sigmund was just like, I don't even think it was mostly verbal. I think you can tell that Sigmund's not trusting himself right now, and he just looks at you in the way that you've seen him look at you many times in the past when there's a situation that seems like it's going south and Sigmund feels like he's out of his depth. And this is something that's happened a lot, I think, between Thyra and Sig. And he's just, you can tell in the way that he's looking at you that he is wanting your judgment on this entire scenario because he feels out of his depth.
Thyra, since sort of noticing these things, has not taken her hand off her symbol of Thor.
Mm.
She has a big old hammer around her neck, and oddly enough, alcoholicism demons are not something she deals well with.
Yeah, they seem to be paying no interest to you guys. They seem to only have an interest in Sigmund. As you walk around, Glanfar and Dave, and basically Thyra as well, all three of you run into something at the same moment. Something that you see glinting underneath the water, that you pick up and that you trail back to them, which is long strings, which seem to be connected to all the moving parts of both the Duke and the Duchess. And these long, thin strings seem to be going all the way down the river.
Sigmund, I don't
Like
think your friends
puppet
are real.
strings.
Thyra's hammer's gonna set alight, and she is gonna lunge for one of the strings.
Okay, so as you strike down with your flaming
I don't
hammer...
own a cutting weapon.
I feel like you should set fire to things in Sigmund's brain.
I don't think these symbolize
you
anything.
smash
I think
down
it's
and-
I would be
fun.
careful using fire in a place that's quite heavily.
There's like a blow of steam as your flaming hammer the water and smashes onto the strings, and they all writhe and coil, sort of like worms or snakes, as they are set alight. And Sigmund, to you, suddenly the Duke says, I feel terrible. Sigmund, I feel my spirit leaving me. Save me, Sigmund, please. Oh, please, Sigmund.
I think Sigmund reaches out for this guy that's sort of his friend.
He's a fucking puppet.
And you can see,
And Sigmund hesitates as Thyra kind of shouts that.
Yeah, you can see the
has a
fire-
well-known incident where she picked a fight with a Punch and Judy show, by the way.
Oh yeah,
She has
that's
a- She has a
true.
well-known
She
rage
has a well-known
when
distaste
faced
for
with
puppets.
Yeah.
Well, no, canonically, she did kick the shit out of all of those taxidermied creatures before they could get
Oh
possessed.
yeah,
So
she
That's
did.
a good point.
Also
has
true.
fought for this.
She has a history.
100% has fought
She
for this.
has a history with all manner of puppets.
She just doesn't like them.
And Sigmund, as you grasp out, the fire spreads to the wood of the Duke, and he says, "Oh no! Oh, I'm burning! Oh, Sigmund, I fear this is the end for me. But please remember me, Sigmund. Oh, it's all right that you couldn't do anything for me. Please. Oh, I feel myself fading. Oh, Sigmund. Oh." And suddenly you hear sort of his voice change a little, and it sort of gets wobbly and turns into like many different kinds of voices, some of which you recognize from your past in a certain siege. And as the Duke is burning, and the Duchess as well, they say, "Oh, Sigmund, please do something. Oh no, I fear we're gone. I fear we're gone forever. Oh no."
Sigmund's freaking fucking out at this point, let's be clear. He's
Yeah.
not doing well.
And
we should catch up to that armor. Come on, we can just leave these guys. They're not real. Says Dave.
It's something's in your head. This isn't your memories. This isn't what Thyra looks to the awful burning apparition.
This is gonna sound really bad, but I think someone needs to make a handle animal check here.
handle.
Surely it's gonna be like a bluff, or not bluff.
I think it's rather a
diplomacy.
Yeah, a diplomacy or a strength. Depending on how you want to convince
I'm
Sigmund to
going
come.
to
Are we
do
essentially trying to
diplomacy.
force him along?
Well, Dave's trying to talk him out
Roll
of
to
it.
comfort the barbarian.
That's what
Roll
Dave's trying to do.
Fair.
Because I'm a bard, I can use my string instruments in place of diplomacy, so I'm doing that. Maybe
Okay,
I'm
play
playing.
comforting jazz.
I'm playing a nice comforting jam. A very
Oh
comforting
yeah!
Oh, nice.
It's a very comforting jam, and it works very well.
So Dave is playing this very comfortable jam and
Low-fat beats.
is
It's comforting and
humming
comfortable.
along, sort of, as you see the burning parts of the Duke and the Duchess sort of float away downstream, and you see the long strings that were attached to them glinting in the water, going in the same direction as the armor's footsteps are going.
We need to catch up to it, because didn't Chevik say something bad would happen if like the armor gets there first?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound great if it's already cut something in half that's in Sigmund's head, but, you know, who am I to talk?
So,
Yeah, okay,
as you, I think a 32 is very high. So I think Sigmund, how do you?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Think
like Sigmund, fundamentally, this is the thing about Sigmund. Like his mentality can be all over the place, but there are certain truths to him, and one of those is that he fundamentally trusts Dave.
Fair. He's a very trustworthy boy.
Honestly, I would trust Dave very much.
So
even Apollyon, I think, the probably least trusting person, or one of the least trusting and least trustworthy people on the continent, still trusts Dave.
I'm a nice boy.
So I think that being consoled by Dave, you continue down along the strings, and you follow the river until you notice that the river is sort of running dry and it is turning to normal earthen soil. And gradually you seem to be passing onto like pavement. And as you are walking, trailing the strings and walking by the footsteps, you hear a loud like a thunderclap. And as you hear it,
everyone looks at Thyra.
It wasn't me this time.
And as you hear it, much of the mist dissipates, and you can suddenly see big walls. You can see buttresses. You can see the architecture of a fortress. And you seem to be in its courtyard. And you hear a loud voice that is saying, "Let go of me!" And you can see troglodytes. You can see the banner of Zevgavizeb, and you can see Sigmund. Well, a second one. But this one is more sort of mist-like. It is more of a memory than the actual astral projection of Sigmund's present mind.
And younger looking, presumably.
And younger looking
no
as well.
beard.
Indeed.
It's like a tailored beard.
It doesn't have the beard. Very, very good point there, actually.
Indeed. So you can see a beardless
beard.
Sigmund being held down by 3 or 4 massive troglodytes.
How
and
big? Like 10 feet? 15 feet?
How many Daves?
How many days?
I think these guys are like 9-10 feet.
Yeah, 9
Yeah.
That's 3 Daves.
9 to 10
Oh my
feet,
God.
and they are bulk.
At least
Like
3
they are,
Big boys.
yeah, they are
Just
big
fuck.
boys. Yeah,
thick boys.
yeah, indeed. And you hear sort of the tumult of battle. You hear sudden explosions every once in a while, and you can see through the sky, which is now being revealed by the mist to be full of like a sort of greenish reddish haze, and you can see a flash of green light, and you hear another and you hear one of the troglodytes say, "The priest is powerful. I knew that with his help this siege would certainly be a success." And you see youngest Sigmund looking up towards a part of the battlements, you can see another figure who is swinging down from beneath a window to another battlements, who you recognize as someone who you have seen. Well, most of you have seen a picture of before, but Sigmund, have seen many times before in your life. You see the figure of Michael, your former lover, jump down, swashbuckling from a battlement, battle scarred, and doing his best to get down from wherever he is and get to another part of the tower. You can see some young members of like some young people with the crest of Arbello on their tabards, and you can hear him shouting, "Wait, stay there! I'll save you! Just a moment! Ah!" And you see another big green flash explode a part of the tower that he's grabbing onto, and you see him holding onto for dear life, and you see younger Sigmund looking up at him, shouting, Michael, no! Don't! Save yourself! But save them as well! Michael! And you see Michael.
He's just hanging there, like, he's like.
Yeah. Like, what is Sigmund?
One arm
what
just there. It's just like.
Is, or rather, what was Sigmund saying in this situation, Sigmund?
So Michael's like, he's been taken off his feet and he's just hanging there, like almost half off the wall, half not, like hanging by one arm, and Sigmund's just looking up, and he can't see exactly what's happening here because he's being clubbed over the head by these trogs that are surrounding him. He's just looking up and he's just like, Michael! And then there's just an explosion, I think, as Michael is just hanging there by like one arm, and it's just Sigmund doesn't see what happens. And I think that reflects, because we're coming from Sigmund's mind, we don't necessarily see exactly what happens.
Yeah, indeed. I think that as this enormous explosion of a green flash of light impacts where Michael is, suddenly the fog closes again with the impact of the explosion, and the river that was behind you suddenly comes rushing back, and the whole of the impact of the explosion turns into sort of a maelstrom that takes all this imagery and all this mist with it, and washes you all down. And as soon as you sort of come by and the mist dissipates again, you see the first thing that you see is a bright white light. And I need to upload this thing. Okay. The first thing that you see is a bright white light. And as your vision clears, you can see that is the shape of the mithril armor that is standing there silently. And there we go. And it sort of turns towards you, and it is wielding a sword lance made of a bright white fire, which also seems to sort of surround the armor. And as soon as this armor comes into view, you see the rest of what is around you, and a lot of the mist clears, and you find yourself in a sort of swamp, and you see strange figures tending to what seems like mushrooms and stuff that are being grown here. You're in a very wispy, ghostly swamp, and you see the faint light of a lot of mushrooms, and you see a hut. And I will move you guys to this map.
Ooh, a map.
Yes. Okay, wait, let me... Oh, yeah, there we go. There you are.
Oh.
So here you guys are. And you can see the armor in front of you. And I'm going to give that actually a little aura.
Hello, Mr. Thrill.
And the mithril armor looks at you and sort of raises one hand in a salute gesture.
Hello, I'm a mithril armor.
Dave waves.
You see it turn around, and you see in front of you this weird sort of shack or hut in this weird swamp.
Or cabin.
Or cabin, indeed.
Probably not a chateau. I feel like those are usually a little bit more upper class.
No,
Yeah.
a chateau's literally a castle, so yeah.
Oh.
I think you're thinking of
A lodge?
A lodge, perhaps. But this is
Oh,
also
I've
not a
forgotten the name
lodge.
now.
It's
Sorry,
definitely
but-
sort of a domestic, like, backwater cabin.
Where's this, Sigmund?
Do I recognise this?
You do not.
Ah, it's a
You
metaphor,
have-
I see.
No idea what this is.
Dave, I got nothing.
And-
Honestly, I'm still incredible
And it
seeing my
feels...
fucking boyfriend die again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
And it feels sort of more real than anything that you've seen in the ethereal plane so far. It's not a memory. It's not sort of a weird illusionary thing like the Duke and the Duchess. It seems more fixed. It's like it's a fixed place or thing in the ethereal plane.
Any sign of those puppet strings that we were following?
The puppet strings lead directly into its door,
Oh,
which
fucking
is
great.
is
So-
open on a small crevice.
So that seems bad, but on the plus side, in the tiny house might be what's been, interfering with your brain for a little while.
Let's fuck it up.
Yeah, let me just work out charge distances for a second.
Yeah, just charge
Oh,
it
yeah.
like a healthy human being. Charge your problems. Not that I know what a healthy human being is like being a dwarf.
Fair enough. You see also on the porch, and I don't have a token for it, you see a black rooster sitting on one of the barrels.
Hang on, don't worry, I got it.
Are you going to draw?
No, he's
Please
gonna write.
don't.
He's gonna write
Just-
chicken.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
no, I was going to go somewhere else.
Very, very postmodern. I like it. So you have the rooster that is sitting there, and it looks towards you guys, and suddenly it speaks, and it says, "Ah, I wondered when you'd show up, Sigmund. Have you finally come to surrender?"
No!
Sigmund, do you know this rooster?
Why did you make friends with a talking rooster? Why didn't you tell me?
I'm fairly certain this rooster was evil.
Is this a metaphor?
Yes!
A
No,
metaphor.
I'm in
Lara
fact
squints.
quite real. Thana the dwarf.
What?
How did
Is
you
it
almost know her name?
Is it not Thana? Oh, well, I suppose that's a little disappointing.
He has approximate knowledge of many things.
Yes, I do have approximate knowledge of many things.
Sigmund,
Yeah.
why did you not
Well, I
tell
guess
your
this
dream
is-
rooster my name?
Yeah.
Almost.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You're a cleric. That's why there's interference. Ah, of course.
I can't help
Bloody
but notice that this chicken is within charge range of me.
Oh yeah, like this chicken is right in charge right, and it
yeah,
turns.
I'm
towards
just
you,
going
Sigmund.
for it. Honestly, I'm just fucking going for it.
All right. So the rooster is sort of babbling, and it says, "Ah, well, at least you finally get to meet Maman Ernestine. I hope you're happy with your new." Oh!
Get fucked!
And you just
Makes a space to the face.
yeah, and you just splatter this rooster, and it is squashed. And you can see like a little sort of shadowy ghost rising up out of it. It's
I
like,
swing the mace of fate to the ghost.
you swing it, it passes through it. Oh, you little bastard, you're going to regret that when I reincarnate in approximately 7 days.
Sigmund, why do you have a demonic rooster in your brain?
These are all great questions.
Is this what food poisoning is like? Like on the interior, I mean.
I hope not. I had a lot of kebabs in my life.
Fucking hell. I knew we shouldn't have immediately gone for kebabs when we arrived in Blackwater.
It was really
Thyra.
good though. They had that nice onion.
That nice onion.
Yeah.
So many kebab joints I find use the shit onion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thyra, can you roll me a knowledge religion?
One would expect Thyra to be good at this. And yet-
Sigmund, as you're
oh.
standing close to
Can I
you
roll
can
as
see
well,
that
just for the lols?
above like the doorway there's a whole bunch of what looks like sort of very simple like clay dolls sort of strung and hung up upon the walls, and they seem to be covering most of the walls of this cabin. And with an 18, Thyra, this you're not in Sigmund's mind anymore, you don't think?
Sigmund, I don't think we're in your mind anymore.
Oh, that's good because it's fucky even for me. That last one was definitely me though. Still a bit fucked up over that.
Yeah, that one seemed like a legitimate memory, so we probably shouldn't have fucked with that.
Yeah. With an 18,
hang on, I need to delete my labels for the rooster because we killed him.
Yes, very good. J. Johnny Mithril is also very nice.
What are we gonna call the last zombie? He needs a name. All
J.
those have got
Edgar
names.
Roosevelt. Keith.
All of them do have names,
do
don't
like
they?
No,
it.
there's one over here with a
Stephen.
name. What are we gonna call
There's
it?
one over here still.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I know. I've got a name.
He's
Yeah, so
the
these
zombie
guys-
formerly known as Prince.
Yes, very good. Zombie formerly known as Prince.
Can I start moving towards the door?
No,
by the
it's
way?
not. Yeah, it's not Keith 2. It is the zombie formerly known as Prince. You can see that this particular zombie does in fact resemble Prince.
Oh, that's kind of close because Prince only died recently. Like,
Oh, really?
within
5
the
years
last 2
ago?
years.
It was
Yeah.
2 years ago.
All right.
Oh, really? Well, I
I
mean,
don't pretend to have any concept of time.
What's his name?
Okay.
Now? Okay.
Thyra's gonna
I
stop.
didn't even know Prince was dead.
Oh,
Prince-
he is. Yeah,
Prince
he died
died a little
about 2
bit
years
ago.
Oh,
I
yeah.
only
Oh,
first heard of Prince when he died. So anyway, sorry, what was going on?
Yeah. Anyhow, so you look at this weird cabin, and Thyra with an 18 in religion. You think you're probably not in Sigmund's mind anymore, given that he doesn't recognize it, given that this place feels different than the memories that you've been in.
Can I
You've
also roll
heard
religion?
some stuff about the ethereal plane in your cleric studies. Not a lot, but you have heard some. And you know that the ethereal plane is sort of a weird place where you have the dreams of sleeping people that exist there as places. You have memories of people that exist there as places. And those are all sort of in flux. They're sort of constantly moving, like a constantly shifting rivers. But there are places in the ethereal plane that are fixed. And mostly the fixed places in the ethereal plane are fixed because they are under the control or they are the domain of some kind of powerful entity.
Does it look like a chicken?
Like a chicken.
Oh, I can't with that power.
Or-
Sigmund just killed it.
Given that you have rolled a 29, Dave, you can clue
Just
in
wanted to
on
show
the
Thyra.
fact. Like
From a
chicken
29, you can
or
probably
like
tell
a
it wasn't the
hag.
chicken's domain.
Sorry, what were you saying, Mon?
Because I said that with the 29, you definitely clue in. Like, I think that Thyra says, to the domain of powerful beings, like a chicken, and Dave says, or like a hag.
Yeah, I mean,
because you-
potato. Definitely one of the
Hen
two.
hag.
Because you know that a particular brand of hag, namely a night hag, is a typical dweller of the ethereal plane.
Do you remember ever pissing off a night hag, Sigmund?
Do I remember pissing off a night hag?
You don't, but you do remember that. I think this was discussed at some point that because you were shunted into the ethereal plane, basically what night hags tend to do is sort of use augury and stuff to pan out for the dreams and the presences of potential victims to steal their soul. Because night hags are basically soul peddlers. Because among powerful evil outsiders, souls are like a currency, and also like a drug. They're like a drug and a currency.
It's almost exactly like Grand Theft Auto.
Indeed. And, well, what night hags do is pan around for vulnerable souls that they sense in the ethereal plane, and then they attempt to steal their soul. So, if you put two and two together, there's probably a night hag living in this cabin. And the Duke and the Duchess were probably an early sign of alienating you from the real world and stealing your soul.
Says Dave.
Seems fine. Called it. I knew those guys were bullshit.
And as Dave says this, Johnny J. Mithril, that's his actual name now.
Johnny
Mithril, is walking steady paces towards the door.
Hey! Sigmund kind of steps in between the J. Johnny Mithril. You hold up there, mate. I got business. We've got business with whoever's in here.
Several people have business.
You wait here, and I got business with you after I've sorted this out. You all right, Chief? And he just gently taps him on the cheek.
Right. The armor doesn't reply immediately, and it sort of lowers its head for a moment as if in thought. And then it looks up towards you, and it extends its hand.
Like in a handshake kind of thing?
Like a handshake.
Sure, I shake his hand.
You smack your hand into the hand of the mithril armor, and it grasps your hand firmly, does not let go, and it looks at you with its normal helmet face, and it gives a thumbs up as it suddenly uncoils. And
this is just like MacGyver.
It uncoils and coils up your arm and forms around you. You are now wearing your mithril armor.
Sigmund, are you still alive in there?
I absolutely am, and this feels great. I have to be honest. This is the highlight of a really past 10 minutes.
Yeah,
so
it's
you
been a really
have
rough
your
day.
mithril armor.
Okay.
That is going to give you extra armor bonus because mithril is a powerful and magical. It gives you. Where's my notes on this? Nice. Here we are. It gives you your armor bonus of plate armor.
Okay.
Because it's fucking mithril.
Is it magical as well?
It's mithril.
So it has to be magical, yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah.
It's mithril.
Mithril.
We need like a
it's
harp
basically
note.
If I remember correctly, this means it's the same AC bonus thing,
Yeah.
but lighter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's put that on.
It does not, Dave, because your mithril shirt is
It's not strong
a
enough.
rather minor mithril item and does not have the sort of
If
the
it
mass
doesn't
of
have any
mithril
camera.
combined
Yeah, it doesn't
that
have,
is
like, the
necessary to
mass-
form this
the
powerful
mass
presence.
Okay, sure.
Indeed.
Okay. Handily, this means I can click the we can go into the details of what extra stuff's on there later, but in terms of
Yes.
AC bonus, I can just click the worn button on my existing stuff, so that's handy.
Perfect.
At which point, Sigmund is looking buoyant,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "Hey, Night Hag." He's a buoyant boy.
Yeah. The door creaks
You did not
open.
spell that properly.
The door creaks open. And it seems to invite you in.
Nope.
I have to be true to Sigmund at this point. It's shoulder barging the door down like a fucking SWAT team.
It
Alright.
opened.
But they just open, so you
Nice.
just fall over.
You do this, and you swing your arms to the side. Your arms go straight through the walls of this cabin with the white flame that is emanating from the mithril. And you enter into the Night Hag's cabin.
This seems fine.
Oh, look what
And
this
that
creepy,
is where we will
creepy
leave.
Look at this ambiance. Isn't this nice?
Oh, this is real great. It's also slightly bigger on the inside than the outside,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which works really well.
Yeah. I wouldn't believe my eyes if this happened.
There seems to be 1,000 fireflies. That's
doll.
pretty.
10 million
There's a
fireflies,
decent
actually.
amount of
I
fire.
don't listen to popular music.
Apart from fall asleep.
Apart from that, delightful Billie Eilish.
Yeah. And Owl City.
I was
Like
like,
everyone.
the only popular music I do listen to.
What, Owl City?
Yeah.
Popular music.
Popular music.
Indeed.
Oh,
So
Hellhounds is in
you-
chat as well. Hi, Hellhounds.
Hi, Alan. How are you?
So you are
Sorry
in the
for
Night
going
Hag's
on a
cabin.
break for 4 months.
You look around. There's a lot of spider webs and stuffs in here. The only light in here is coming from a few mushrooms and from hundreds and hundreds of like little crystals that are
not
stocked up
fun.
everywhere. Which, I mean, this is classic imagery. You have seen this in tales. You have seen terrible bard, like theater performers, use a piece of glass with a candle in it to signify this. These are soul gems.
Oh, that seems bad. There is, like, easily more than 6 soul gems in here.
And as you look up, you see that this room has no ceiling. It just goes up and up and up into the dark.
Oh shit! Okay, that's
And-
Lovely.
And you see that there in the dark, you see like hundreds and hundreds of all these strings, like these webbing strings. You see the faint lights of soul gems all the way up in the dark, like a starry sky almost. And the threads that were hanging off of the Duke and the Duchess sort of are pulled up into the darkness. And you see 2 round, bright, white eyes, no pupils, no irises, just plain white, light up. That is where we end this session.
like 2 moons.
Like 2 moons.
That's a spooky meatball.
That's a spooky meatball. Oh, good session, man.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Nice. I'm doing a thumbs up. You can't see it.
Suitably
Alright.
spooky.
Indeed. So next session, you have your mithril armor, and you're
I
gonna
do.
fight a night hag.
Is it the mithril armor that I spoke to you about before, or
It is the very same.
the very same? All right,
It is
cool.
the very same.
Nice, sweet.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
Tweet.
Toit, thank you for
Alright.
running, and thank you for joining us back again.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be back.
I'm like
Also,
ambivalent.
congratulations on getting all of your stuff done. We are great that you've come
Yes,
back to this
good job.
mighty AP.
Indeed. Thanks.
Well done.
Okay. I'm gonna
congrats.
go. I will see you guys next session.
Good,
Bye-bye,
James.
stream.
Goodbye,
Bye.
stream.
Bye, stream.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.